Welcome back to Reflect Politics. My name is Brendan Plank. Kilmar Abrego Garcia, the man who was accidentally sent to an El Salvadorian prison by the Trump administration. His wife spoke today in front of the press and pleaded with Donald Trump and the El Salvadorian president Bukele to release her husband and stop using him as a political tool.
After his disappearance, and I stand before you filled with spirit that refuses to bring down. I will not stop fighting until I see my husband alive. Kilmar, if you can hear me, stay strong. God hasn't forgotten about you. Our children are asking, when would you come home? And I pray for the day I tell them the time and date that you'll return. As we continue through Holy Week, my heart aches for my husband, who should have been here leading our Easter prayers. Instead, I find myself pleading with the Trump administration and the Bukele administration to stop playing political games with the life of Kilmar. Our family is torn apart during this scary time, and our children miss their dad so much. Despite the challenges we continue to face with the U.S. and the Salvadorian government, I hope that the strength of faith and the resilience within us will keep us standing after all the punches we continue to receive. Our ability to fight back against these governments are testimonies to the spirit of fight and restraint that God has given us. We will continue standing strong, and we will never give up on you, Kilmar. Kilmar needs to come home, and it's time we see how exact this will be fulfilled. Enough is enough. My family can't be robbed from another day without seeing Kilmar. This administration has already taken so much from my children's, from Kilmar's mother, brother, sisters, and me. So, thank you.
The American people are already only 3 months into the Trump administration. They are fed up with Donald Trump's second term, his clown show of a cabinet, and they have been taking to the streets to march against the federal cuts by Trump and the Doge team led by Elon Musk. And now we have another set of dramatic events unfolding in which the American people are being targeted. Now, Republican Senator from Iowa, Chuck Grassley, held a town hall today, and it became very clear that Garcia's deportation to the El Salvadorian prison is becoming a problem for Donald Trump, MAGA, and Republicans.
Supreme Court said to bring him back.
Judges are. And the president is upholding the Constitution.
He's defined the
You're on the
Constitution.
Judiciary Committee.
Trump don't care.
If I get an order to pay a ticket for $1,200 and I just say no, does that stand up? Because he's got an order from the Supreme Court and he's just said no.
Yeah. He just said, screw it.
I'll be able to answer your question.
You ignored my letter.
Guatemala or El Salvador is an independent country. The president
Speak
of
up,
that
please.
country,
We can't hear you.
the president of that country is not subject to our U.S. Supreme Court.
Trump wanted to bring him back. Trump can't bring him back. I'm pissed.
If we're paying him to keep him down there, we don't have to pay him.
I think the cowardice of the Republican Party is finally catching up to them. They've been cowards for decades, but Now we see an all-out assault on the American people, and the American people are fed up, especially fed up with people like Chuck Grassley, who claim to be this constitutionalist. He is until he isn't, until it's inconvenient for him. The same thing goes with Donald Trump, who, you heard Grassley say there that, oh, well, El Salvador isn't within the jurisdiction of our Supreme Court, and so really our hands are tied. Nothing could be further from the truth. All it takes is one request from the President of the United States, and Garcia is on a flight home within minutes. Donald Trump claims to be the strong man who can move markets with his tariffs, who can bully the EU, who can tell Ukraine that they need to help end this war that they didn't start. He's the strong man until he isn't, right? Donald Trump also campaigned on being the unifier, the person who's going to bring America together after the political partisanship that we've seen over the past 10 years, in large part due to Donald Trump. He's the great uniter who now has a woman pleading with him to send her husband home after accidentally deporting him to an El Salvadorian prison where we don't even know if he's still alive. Talk is really cheap with the Republican Party and Donald Trump. Now, getting back to the clip of Chuck Grassley being heckled by audience members, I don't know if you could hear it there, but one gentleman said, can I just ignore a $1,200 fine from the courts? The obvious answer is no. He says, how can Donald Trump ignore the Supreme Court? And then you heard a couple people say that Grassley has ignored their letters. He's simply just ignoring the outcries from Americans whose rights are under attack. And then what was probably the most notable part of that clip was Chuck Grassley's meek little voice, whispering his response, because that guy knows how much of a coward he is. And deep down, psychologically, he understands that he has bent the knee to an authoritarian, to a fascist who wants to undo our democracy, all the while pretending to be the constitutional Republican who is the true defender of Americans' rights. Everything is on its head when it comes to the Republican Party. So let me know what your thoughts are, what your reflections are down in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to Reflect Politics if you haven't already. My name is Brendan Plank. Hope to see you in the next video.